Hello, and welcome back to the Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast. My name is Eric Herlock, and on this week's show, I'm doing another one of those spring planting check-in shows, right? Where I call people up around the country and I say, hey, what's happening? What'd you get in the ground? How's your weather? So that's what we're doing today. I've got 4 farmers and 1 processor lined up for us to talk to. We're going to first talk to Herb Grove up in Center County, Pennsylvania. Then we'll go out to Garrett County, Maryland, and talk to Katherine Dubansky. Then back to Pennsylvania, we'll talk to Steve Groff in Lancaster County. And then we're going out to Fargo, North Dakota to talk to Aaron Templin. And finally, we'll talk to Jeff Limbaugh in Sikeston, Missouri. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you in part by King's Agri-Seeds in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. King's Agri-Seeds is working with a network of fiber and grain processors who are developing capacity in the mid-Atlantic region. Demand is growing and King's Agri-Seeds is here, ready to help you meet that demand. Contact King's Agri-Seeds today to learn more about these opportunities. Call 717-687-6224 to learn more or go to kingsagriseeds.com. This episode is brought to you in part by I&D Hemp in Fort Benton, Montana, where they believe in the goodness of hemp. I&D Hemp is a family-owned, mission-driven, and environmentally focused industrial hemp food, feed, and fiber company, providing new opportunities for farmers and rural communities. Their mission is to provide innovative agricultural products and services to connect American farmers with the pioneers and businesses that see hemp as a way to bring real and lasting change to our communities and planet. Learn more at indhemp.com. All right, welcome back. So, here we are. It's the beginning of June. It's planting season in hemp land. And one of my favorite things to do is to call people up and, talk to them about what's happening on their farms. So that's what we're doing here. And I would love to do more of these in the next couple of weeks. So if you would like to share with me what's happening on your farm, reach out to me, send me an email. I'll send you a link where you can just schedule some time to chat with me, and I would love that. You can email me directly. You can send it to podcast@lancasterfarming.com, or if you don't do the email, you want to just call me up, please do, 717-721-4462. All right, so most of the people on today's show have been on our show in the past, but it's always good to reconnect and hear what's going on. First, we're going to talk to Herb Grove. You might remember him. He was on our show back in February of this year, talking to me about his hemp-fed bison. Herb Grove, welcome back to the show. How you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad. Keeping busy, trying to stay dry. How about that?
Stay dry. You getting rain up there?
I wish. We're all praying for it.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So I'm calling around, talking to farmers about, what kind of hemp they got in the ground so far this year. So what are you growing this year?
We're growing some stuff from New West Genetics, taller variety, and stuff. Got some seeds off Jeff Caustic up in Canada. Mm-hmm. We're looking all seed production this year, so we're trying some varieties for higher yield per pounds per acre kind of deal.
Yeah.
So that's what our focus this year is.
Nice. And how much you got in?
We don't have any in. We were going to start this weekend, but we kind of slowed the roll. It's pretty dry here in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I
don't think there's much hurry getting it in the ground. It ain't going to do much till it gets some moisture. So we're going to play the rain game and hit it hard right before estimated rain shower, I hope.
Okay. What's your anticipated acreage?
We're looking right around 45 acres, plus or minus, depending how we plan out. We got that test plot we're going to do with one variety, and so depending how it rolls, we're looking right around 45 acres.
Cool. Now, is that stuff that you're producing for your own bison farm?
Some of it will be. Mostly, it's just a network tool. So if we get impressed, then obviously we're looking to get our meal back, the byproduct for the bison. So at this point, we're looking for whole seed production to come off the field. Okay.
All right. So it's dry up there like it is down here. So what do you think? I'm looking at the forecast and there's no rain in sight.
Yeah, I mean, the ground we're going into has got some tillage, so, it's not going to be as hard as 100% no-till. I'm hoping, we'll probably drag our feet here for another week or so and check the weather report and just play the rain game and hit it up.
Right. So what, are you going to drill it?
Yep, we're going to no-till. We'll be no-till 7.5-inch spacings on the drill, putting it in the ground.
Cool. Well, what else do you want to tell us about what's going on up in your neck of the woods?
As far as, just the weather, getting all the crops out, everybody's got them in, and now we're just all sitting around waiting for the weather. Other than that, I'm not sure about the hemp industry. It's been pretty quiet. I think everybody's been busy focused on getting it in the ground, and I think we'll all start collaborating again here in a few weeks and start thinking about harvest plans and networks and where we're going with stuff and see how things look that way.
Cool. And tell me, you have a website for your farm, right? So people can check it out. What's that website?
Check us out on Facebook at this point.
Oh, okay.
So, Brush Mountain Bison.
Brush Mountain Bison.
Try to do a little bit of stuff on there, time permitting. So it's been pretty hard, but hopefully we'll post some hemp stuff here in the next couple of weeks, getting in the ground, what we're doing and how it looks.
Right. What else do you grow besides hemp?
So we grow sunflowers, canola, corn, soybeans. We deal a lot of rye for cover crop customers, and then our hay crops for our animals, obviously.
Okay.
So, we try to stay a little diversified as much as we can.
Right. What's your total acreage?
So between all our custom share crop farms, rented acres, we run around 1,000, 1,200, depending on the year.
Okay.
We do a lot of work a lot of networking with other farmers with their crop plans from start to finish, and keeping them guys in straight and narrow. So it's kind of cool to network with all the neighbors and keep everybody rolling.
Nice. And you had a visit from the documentary film crew a couple weeks ago, right? How'd that go for you?
Dude, I think it went pretty good. Hopefully it went good for those guys. I mean, it was new with the bison. They're expecting hemp, so to blend the two of them together, I think they're pretty excited about what we're trying to do. They're definitely excited about, our full circle regenerative farming, trying to keep stuff in the ground. We're all on the same page, and it's awesome to network and talk with guys that, think as passionate about hemp as we do.
Right.
So for me, it was great. Yep, it was definitely worth the time.
Yeah, they came down my way after seeing you. So I heard a little bit about the visit. So super cool. I'm excited to see their film when it's done. So
absolutely. Did you get any hot dogs or the treats?
Oh, yeah. I meant to say that they gave me some of the bison sticks, which I ate already, and then I got a couple of packs of hot dogs in the freezer and 2 packs of the ground bison. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to chowing down on that.
Yeah, they could have just said nothing and kept on rolling.
Well, I think you kept them fed for days, like they were, cooking up what you gave them. So I think they were happy to share. So yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about, paying it forward. And good group of guys, and I think they might be interested in coming back in the fall. We got a cool thing up our sleeve that I'm hoping to have here, and it'll be pretty exciting to have it in the state.
All right. Well, I am intrigued by that. So keep me in the loop too. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. You'll be on the call list, and once we verify everything's going to come together, it'll be neat to have it here. So we'll see how it works. Yep. Cool.
Looking forward to that. All right, Herb. Thank you so much for your time. It's great to talk to you again.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now we're going to take a journey out to the beautiful mountain west of Maryland. Talk to Katherine at Backbone Hemp Farm. Katherine Dubansky from Backbone Farm in Garrett County, Maryland. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Good, Eric. How are you doing? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, it's great to check in. I'd like to, call around the country and see what's happening. So, what's happening? How's planting going in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, it's coming along. It's been a kind of cold spring up here in Garrett County. I typically haven't been starting my hemp plants until about the second or third week in May. So I just planted seeds about 8 to 10 days ago, I think. Started them in the greenhouse, and they're looking good.
Yeah, good emergence.
Yes, good emergence, and they'll be ready to go out, I'd say, in about another 10 days. So yeah. Cool.
So how much are you growing, and what varieties are you growing this year?
Well, we actually just slimmed down. We decided to go on the real low side this year and grow 300 plants, which is the smallest number we've ever grown.
Okay.
But they're all high CBD strains from Oregon CBD.
Nice.
And we just went with 3 that sounded different than ones that we've had in the past. I've got Electra and Hawaiian Haze and Chemberry. So they're all high CBD varieties. Yeah.
Right. When we spoke last year, you, I think, were dabbling in either fiber or grain. How did that go for you last year?
We did put in an acre of fiber hemp that we got from King's Agri-Seed.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go super well for us. We put the seeds in the ground right before it stopped raining for about 6 weeks.
Oh, right.
We had pretty good drought up here last June. So it took them a while to emerge, and in the meantime, some weeds came out, and so we ended up having a pretty weedy stand, and then we just ended up disking it in, as, essentially treating it like a cover crop.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You also planted some of those triploids from Oregon CBD last year. How did those turn out, and did you go that route this year too?
We didn't actually go that route this year. The main reason we wanted to try that last year was because we were both growing the fiber crop. We didn't want any pollination happening.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, but they turned out to be great. We didn't have any issues in them. I think maybe I found a very small handful of seeds out of the whole crop, which we grew about 500 plants. So yeah, I would say they did what they were supposed to do, and they had a nice turnout. Nice, good terpene profile and cannabinoids and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. You mentioned that the spring has been a little chilly. How's the weather otherwise? You getting good precipitation?
No, it's been pretty dry again. It's been a great spring, other than, a little chilly. We've had some timely rain, but it hasn't rained now in about 10 days, and there's nothing in the forecast. So that always makes me nervous.
Yeah,
especially being a produce farmer. We really rely on those timely rains, and we're not great at irrigating because of our setup, but we're rethinking all that and, wondering what the future's going to bring.
Right.
Where did spring rains go?
Yeah, we'll see. Anything else you want to share with us about what's happening there?
Oh, well, I would just say that the CBD market is a little bit tenuous right now due to the recreational marijuana bill that's been passed in Maryland. That seems to be having some negative impacts on CBD industry. But, it's all volatile, and we knew that going into it, and it would be nice if those things would get sorted out in a way that could be equitable for all. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, amen to that.
Well, we're trying to also, make some positive steps towards fiber up here in Garrett County. We have not given up on that by any means.
Good.
With our new Secretary of Ag that we've got, Mr. Kevin Addix. I think that there's going to be some steps made. Really just keep hoping for that, and we're not giving up.
Good. You're part of like a local hemp group in your county, right?
That's right. We've got the Mountain Maryland Hemp Alliance, which serves Garrett, Allegheny, and other surrounding counties in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. We've done really great feasibility study and put a lot of time and energy into figuring out how we could attract a processing facility to our area and, help our local farmers to put fiber and grain hemp into their rotations.
Right.
So we're still really pushing for that.
Any leads on a processor coming in?
No, not yet. Not right this minute, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, say the name of the organization again, and if someone's listening and they want to, set up shop in Maryland.
That's right. It's the Mountain Maryland Hemp Alliance. We do have a website, and we've got a small but active membership, and we are open to discussions.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Katherine, it's great to talk to you again, and I wish you an excellent season.
Thanks for calling. Nice to talk to you, too.
All right, my next guest is Steve Groff. You know him. He's been on the show a bunch of times. He's Lancaster County's own cover crop coach. I always enjoy talking to Steve. You never know what he's up to, right? He's always got something going on. And let's find out. Steve Groff, welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing?
Doing great, Eric. Always good to catch up with you.
Yeah, likewise. So what's happening down there at Cedar Meadow Farm? You got any seeds in the ground yet?
We have 50 acres. 50.
50.
50 acres of fiber in the ground, fiber type hemp. I'm going to put a few acres of CBD again this year. That's not going to be for a couple of weeks yet, but we have 50 acres of fiber hemp in the ground, and it's starting to come up. We planted most of that in the third week of May. I planted 9 different varieties. So a big part of this year is to test varieties to see what's going to work best in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Okay. Now, I don't live too far from you, and I know we haven't gotten a whole lot of rain out in Chester County. What's it looking like for you out there in Lancaster County?
We're about the same as the rest of the Mid-Atlantic, at least Pennsylvania and is concerned. We're dry. I was a little concerned that we were going to have enough moisture to germinate the hemp, but I got to mention our regenerative agriculture methods using cover crops and no-till, which is definitely in our favor. We were able to hold the moisture in that soil, and based on yesterday, 10 days after planting, it looks really good. I won't know for a week or two yet to see exactly how everything with all my fields, all my varieties will look. But yes, we are dry, and we do need rain. But once the seed is germinated, that's at least a good start, because who knows when we are going to get rain, and if any seeds did not germinate, they won't germinate, until we get a decent rain. So sure, I think in the context of the dry weather, which we do have to mention, so far so good, but we're looking at the long-term forecast, trying to get some hope out there.
Yeah. So did you put that 50 acres all in no-till?
Absolutely. That's all I do. No-till with cover crops.
Okay, so just for people to wrap their heads around that, walk me through the process. Like, do you crimp it and then you plant it? So just tell me the process.
I want to first of all say that I've been started no-till 41 years ago, and my whole farm has been no-till since 1996. So I preface that because it's a simple concept, but it's very complicated to pull off, and even more challenging with hemp, because we have a small seed planted very shallow, if you will, and when you add cover crops in there, that makes it even harder. So I want to, kind of get that out of the way first. You don't just plant a cover crop and say, I'm going to no-till hemp into that. It's much, much more detail, lots of details to do it. So what I do is the key is to have a cover crop planted, which begins the year before and in the fall before, in my case, and then I let it grow. And we have a cover crop roller that I developed back in the mid-'90s, and we roll it, and then we plant into it with, I'm going to say, highly specialized planter. It has a lot of components that you can buy, but some of the things that people might not think about is most planters are designed for larger seeds, at least the ones that aren't used for grain planting. So we put like canola inserts in our seed tubes for our 15-inch planter. Now, I also say, too, and we're doing research on this, is I also use a drill, 7.5-inch row spacing. A drill is a planter that we normally use for small grains and for cover crops, narrow row. But the problem with the drill in my situation is I have so much biomass from my cover crops that it's difficult for the hemp seeds to come up through all that. So on our planter that's 15 inches, we have room to use what we call row cleaners and clean the row off a little bit so that the hemp gets a chance to grow up through. So we're testing drilled 7.5-inch rows versus 15-inch rows. It's a lot of research like I've been doing for many, many years and all kinds of things, but doing a lot of research on the genetics of varieties and also how to plant in the system like I have I've grown to use.
Right. Well, yeah, that work you're doing there, I think, is going to be just fundamental for the entire industry, because we need to be growing all of this no-till, most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your plan for harvest? And who's buying this? Where's this hemp going?
Mm-hmm. So I am growing for Hemp Catalyst, which is a a new company that's being formed, and the idea behind Hemp Catalyst is to eventually have some processing facilities throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, but also to have a marketplace where they want to connect end users of any hemp product, and also all the way to the farmers, so that the whole supply chain can be identified, and so that when a farmer wants to grow, he can either choose a buyer on this marketplace, or vice versa. You might have a buyer that says, I want a certain genetic, and they can search the database and say, oh, I see there's a farmer in Pennsylvania, or let's just say theoretically West Virginia or wherever, that's growing this variety, and they can contact them. So that's what a Hemp Catalyst is. That's who I'm growing for this year. Okay. And full disclosure, I'm a consultant for them. I'm a consultant for other groups as well, but mainly most of my time is for Hemp Catalyst.
Okay. Well, full disclosure, I'm actually interviewing Dwayne Sugars from Hemp Catalyst later this week.
Awesome. Well, now you get that story. You get that story there. Yeah.
So what is your plan for harvest? When are you going to cut this?
So the harvest at this point is we're targeting end of August, September. We'll have to see what the crop maturity is and all that, and the different varieties on how they mature according to the calendar and so forth. So I would just say very, very broadly, end of August into September, potentially even leave some stand, because last year I left a little patch stand, which you come out and saw later on in the season. And just intriguing me how much more, biomass can be added in October, but then the other flip side is maybe the quality goes down. So we're going to try to find what that happy medium is. As far as the method to cut it, what we would, if we can get it in time, we want to use one of the Bish multi-cutters, the fiber cut, where they cuts 4 different levels. And right now, I think that is the best cutter that we're aware of. And so we're hoping to get one here to use. We have some backup plans. Like last year, I used a straight sickle bar, or we could use that again. But our hopes are to have a Bish fiber cut system.
Okay. Did you have one on order, or you're hoping one just shows up?
No, it's a little more complex than that. I guess for for where I'm at here right now is, we're talking to them. We're going to try to get one made in time for our harvest.
Good. Yeah, they're good folks out there in Nebraska, the Bishes. Cool. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us? I know you're busy, so I'll let you get going, but...
I feel that the hemp industry is maturing, and there's a lot of those pieces now are coming together, I think, in a tangible way. So I'm excited. That's why I put 50 acres out. And I feel that hemp's time is coming. I see a lot of the players, I would say trusted players, coming to the table, so to speak. And so we'll see, but I'm really looking forward to continue to do research and also development of basically all things hemp.
Yeah, right on. I saw that you were recently appointed to the board of the Pennsylvania Hemp Industry Council.
Yeah, that was just announced, and I feel honored to be a part of that. And what I bring to that table is the regenerative agricultural expertise that I have. And so, I just feel like there's kind of been a breath of fresh air into a lot of groups. That would be included. And I think it's being well led by Erica Stark and several others. And so looking forward to basically seeing how can we bring hemp back to Pennsylvania to its full potential. And I believe it's huge. There does seem to be, even at the state level, interest in helping out as well. So we'll see where all this heads, but exciting times, I believe.
Yeah, good. Well, Steve, it's great talking to you. Thank you for sharing some time with me today.
Oh, as always, it's my pleasure.
All right, next we're going up to North Dakota to talk to Aaron Templin. He is operating partner at Dakota Herd Company. And they're putting together a processing center. So let's see what's happening with him. Aaron Templin from Dakota Herd Company. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm all right. Hanging in there. So how's spring going up there?
It's been really good. Yeah, we had a long, cold winter, and then it just kind of like a light bulb or like a light switch just switched.
Okay.
And now it's hot.
Yeah.
And we've had lots of moisture, so yeah, it's been good.
All
Good
right. Well,
weather.
yeah. Well, let's back up a little bit. Would you give us a little introduction?
Yeah. So my name is Aaron Templin. I live in Fargo, North Dakota, and I am working with a company called Dakota Herd. We're still in the startup phase, but we hope to be corticating hemp in a few months.
Yeah. So have you contracted with area farmers to grow hemp for you?
Yeah, so this year we kind of want to take a slow, incremental approach. We're working with 3 farmers, kind of spread out a little bit geographically around us, to do a total of about 100 acres.
And are you working closely with them on planting and seed selection and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we've actually kind of shout out to Melissa over at South Bend.
Oh, yeah.
She was a great help to us, helped us get some genetics that had been proven in some research that was done in South Dakota in our area. So it's the Yuma variety is what we're planting. So just a straight fiber variety this year. And then she also helped us out with some agronomy, kind of working with our farmers to let them know exactly how to do it and speak some of that language that I don't quite know yet.
Right. Yeah, she is an absolute godsend. Like the industry is so much further along because of the work that she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're rock stars down there.
Totally. So you've got some hemp in the ground, your farmers do anyway?
Yeah, we had one farmer, he kind of planted it right there at the edge. We want to plant it early up here. We only have so many days of summer, and this variety takes about 110 days. So yeah, all 100 are planted, and it merged. So I think we had one farmer plant on like the 11th of May, another one about a week later, and then another one a week after that. So.
Is that kind of dangerous, like with your frost date or anything like that, or is that you're totally in the clear at that point?
Yeah, I think, so this variety takes about 12, 14 days to emerge. So, yeah, I mean, if we would have got frost in the middle of May, it could have been dangerous. We were close. I mean, I think we got down to about 44, 40. So, yeah, a little bit towing the line, but I guess that's part of the fun.
Right, taking a risk. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about your processing center that you're working on.
Yes, we got a 5,500 square foot facility in Wahpeton, North Dakota. So our exact throughput, not really sure until we kind of get everything up and running.
Sure.
But, we worked with Andrew Bishop, so using Forsberg's equipment. So yeah, really just Dakota Herd is the name of the business, trying to get herd for hempcrete and animal bedding, and then hopefully find a use for the fiber. Yeah, that's where we're at.
So cool. Well, anything else you want to share with us about what you're doing up there, or just sort of the hemp landscape of North Dakota?
Yeah, I'm just really excited. We ended up getting a grant last week, which helps a lot. So we're getting some state support. So yeah, just trying to put one foot in front of the other, get this thing up and running. Excited to have some hemp growing in North Dakota, and yeah, excited for this whole ride.
Awesome.
And just grateful for all the help that we've kind of received from people in the industry, and it's an exciting industry to be a part of.
Yeah, amen to that. So cool. Well, I'll let you get back to your busy schedule, but let's keep in touch over the growing season, and I'm looking forward to following your success.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric, and thanks for everything that you do.
And last but not least, it's Jeff Limbaugh from Midwest Natural Fiber in Missouri. Hi, Jeff. Welcome back to the show. I wonder if you can give us a quick introduction.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Limbaugh, and I'm with Midwest Natural Fiber, and we're located in Sikeston, Missouri.
So how are things going planting-wise this year? Did you get some seed in the ground yet?
Yeah, we've got, we've probably got about 50%. that we've got planted of our hemp, and so we've got about 300 acres in the ground right now. We're going to be shooting for, probably 500 or 600 acres total this year.
Okay, and that's all down in the southeastern corner of Missouri?
Yeah, we're actually in the north end of what they call the boot heel.
Right, okay. And how are conditions? You getting good weather? You getting good rain?
We had some moderate rains early on, and we was able to get some of the corn and beans and cotton and a little bit of the hemp planted, and then it's kind of turned off dry here on us, so we're actually having to do some irrigating to get some of it up.
Right. You getting decent emergence, though?
Yeah. We've got some seed that has come up, and it emerged on a pretty good schedule of 7 to 10 days, and we was able to put it down in the moisture and have some good germination of our seed, and so right now we got some good stem counts.
All right. And what varieties are you growing?
We got a couple varieties right now that's been planted. Is the Yuma.
Yep.
Yeah, the Yuma T, and we have some Puma, and we got a little bit of MS-77.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
You mentioned getting corn and soy in too. Or you have that in rotation with the hemp?
Yeah. We're working very closely with the USDA this year. Mm-hmm. Looking at trying to collect some data, on some carbon extraction and this type of stuff, or being the climate smart and everything. And
yep.
So with that, we're putting it in rotation with some of the other crops that we do grow, mm-hmm. and just seeing how it compares, and being able to collect some of the data off of it.
Okay. Are you seeing like good results in the corn and soy after it goes in after hemp?
Yeah, we're finding that where we're putting it in a rotational, we got to be careful with some of our carryover chemicals and stuff. But it looks like that some of the data that we're going to be collecting this year is potentially going to show that it's a good rotational crop. We're actually, we do double cropping down here, what I call behind wheat. Mm-hmm. And, with the length of the growth cycle of the hemp, we're going to put in a pretty good experiment this year on trying to grow it behind wheat as a double crop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Have you brought in any new farmers, or are you still working with the guys that you've been working with?
We've got our main core of our farmers that we've worked with for the last couple of years, but we've got a couple other guys that are in there now that is trying some. We're broadening out. We're trying to get into some tillage in the hill ground and that type of stuff.
Okay. Now, what's your plan for harvesting? Like, do you have a sort of target date for when you're going to cut it?
We're finding that, again, through our processing center that we have in place, and the herd extraction and the fiber extraction, we're, now diving a little deeper into the quality of what I'm going to call the fiber. And mm-hmm. So with that, we're looking at timeliness of harvest and, harvest methods. And so we're going to be, trying to get some of the hemp harvested, focused mainly on the fiber quality. Mm-hmm. And that looks like that's going to be about a 100-day life cycle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
before it goes into flower, or right when it starts?
Yeah, in theory, that's what's it's kind of looking like now. Okay. But I think that we're going to find that there's going to be more timeliness of, and a lot of weather related in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about planting density? Are you playing around with planting density?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And yes, we are. A lot of it depends on the seed size, on the amount of total plants per acre. But, depending on your row spacing and everything. But we've put some fields in that have had all the way up to 1 million seeds. And, and we've got some planted right now that's all the way down to 600,000 and 700,000.
Okay. All right. And what, you're drilling that in?
Yeah, drilling it in on right now. Our best method is drilling it in on a 7.5-inch spacing.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about the processing facility. Where's that located now?
It's actually located in Sikeston, Missouri.
Oh, in Sikeston. Okay.
Which is kind of right here in the heart of where we're growing it and where our farmers are and everything. And so the processing center has moved along, real well. It's just as we all knew going into it that it was just going to take, some time and effort to get everything, all the wheels in motion as far as the separating of the product.
Yeah.
And so we've learned a lot, but we're putting out a lot of good herd product right now. And now we're doing some final cleaning stages of some of the fiber that we've extracted, and that's moving along pretty good. We're putting in some advanced equipment that's actually going to be doing the cleaning of it, and so we're real excited about that, and it looks real promising.
Good. Tell me about some of those herd products. Like who's the target market for those?
Well, right now, in the early stages of this whole market development and everything, the animal bedding is kind of the first go-to, I'm going to call it, but it's been real successful out there using it in the animal bedding world, right. And we've got some good customers that are buying it from us, and we got a lot of people trying it in a small animal and the large animal, so so that's I think that's real promising. I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done if we're going to, get it into the, to the construction world, the concrete world, and that type of stuff. But I know there's a lot of people that's diving into it, they're digging their heels in, trying to figure out some of that.
Yep. With the animal bedding, are you seeing mostly horse people, or are you getting some, dairy farmers looking for cow comfort, or, who's your big customer there?
Yeah, right now, with the economic structure of everything, it's kind of fitting into the horse world the best, and the small animals, the smaller packaging, 5 to 8 pound packages that are
like guinea pigs and stuff. Yeah.
And
okay.
Works real good there.
Cool. Well, excellent. Is there anything else you want to share with us about what you're doing this year?
Oh, like I said, we're trying to, again, working with the USDA and working with Lincoln University here in the state of Missouri, and working with the University of Missouri and multiple people across the states, and trying to do some of this data collection. We've put in, once again, we just completed, about 10 days ago, we got a 20-acre test plot that Midwest Natural Fiber puts in the Sikeston area here through what they call an agri-park. And we've got actually 24 different varieties planted in that agri-park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the way from fiber varieties to dual-purpose varieties and even seed varieties.
Nice. All right. Are you keeping an eye on the Farm Bill, or something you want to see in the Farm Bill this year?
Oh, I think we just need the exposure of people in the right places, understanding that I think hemp should find its place as a rotational crop.
Yeah.
Out here, in agriculture. I think it just needs to be truly recognized, from legislature to the farm bill and try to support it, you know. And and with that, I think it because as we all know, you know, I have high hopes that, you know, this hemp fiber and herd can work into the paper world, into the insulation world, and it's a sustainable product, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
Good.
So I think that's, you know, with outside support and governmental support that strongly needs to be looked at and say, hey, that this can be something that could truly potentially offset deforestation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah, right on. Well, Jeff, it's great to talk to you. I appreciate you taking my call.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you again.
All right, there you go. That's the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And just to reiterate what I said in the beginning, I would love to talk to you too about what's happening on your farm. So drop me a line. You can send an email to podcast@lancasterfarming.com, or you can just call me up at 717-721-4462. My name is Eric Herlock. I am the digital editor at Lancaster Farming Newspaper, the greatest agricultural newspaper in the world. Don't just take my word for it, though. Check us out online. Get yourself a subscription to our print edition. You will not be sorry. It is literally the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Am I overselling that? No, I don't think I am. Like, if you're in farming, you're going to want Lancaster Farming Newspaper. And if you're farming hemp, guess what? You're in farming, so you're going to need Lancaster Farming Newspaper. But anyway, check us out online, lancasterfarming.com. All right, until next time, I'll see you in the newspaper.
Industrial hemp.
This episode of Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast is copyright 2023 by Lancaster Farming Newspaper, part of the Steinman Communications family. Today's show was written and recorded, edited, and produced by Eric Herlock, and the music you hear throughout the show is courtesy of Tin Bird Shadow.